Good afternoon and welcome to Anchorage, Alaska, day 2 of the Scout Showcase here at Mulcahy Stadium. Dr. John Groth here on the pregame show with Kevin and the crew. We are going to have some interviews today. Going to hear from some Chinook coaches and players, so we're excited about that. We're going to talk to the coaching staff and the leadership staff here on the pregame show, and then during the ball game, in between innings, we're going to play some interviews from a handful of the Chinook players. I hope you enjoy those. But the first guy I got to talk to was assistant coach Dalton Smith. Dalton is a first-year coach in college. He was a coach at the University of Texas at Tyler. UT Tyler won a national championship this year, Division III. And so Coach Smith was a part of that national title before coming up here to Alaska. Had a very short break between when they won it all and headed up here to Alaska. So let's hear what Coach Smith had to say a while ago this morning about his experiences with AIA.
Can you get on it, check and see if it's coming over? Can you get it on your phone?
Yeah.
Okay. I can hear it barely. Just let go.
Okay. All right. Good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Is my mic going to be on?
Certainly work with these guys in the cages, just driving around the Chinook vans. We all hit you in, but man, we can do what we do. We all hit you in, but man, thanks for your efforts as a family. Okay, so that was Dalton Smith. We're trying to work through some of the technical difficulties up here. Hope you got to hear some of that, if not all of it. I also had a chance to talk to assistant coach Jordan Getzelman. He's down there hitting pregame infield, outfield right now. Let's hear what Jordan had to say a few minutes ago.
Okay, we got Jordan Getzelman here, and he's a Chinook assistant coach. Jordan here, and tell us just a little bit about your baseball background before we get about the summer.
Sure. So I grew up in Crystal Lake, Illinois. Played high school at Prairie Ridge. Ended up going to the University of Missouri High School. Since then, went to Iowa Western Community College, Kennesaw State, which is a D1 down in Georgia. Ended up my career at Menlo College, which is out in California at the NAIA level. Just got done with my first year coaching at William Jessup again at the NAIA for Jake McKinley up there.
Okay, so this weekend is Showcase Weekend. Lots of scouts around, and you're fresh off playing. And so talk about just your experience your senior year and just how that played out and just how you got into coaching and just that transition.
It's been tough, but I've always wanted to be a coach. I loved the game from the inside out, and I felt like a teacher of the game even when I was playing. So your senior year, you feel like you finally got everything together. I greatly anticipated getting drafted, but it just didn't happen to work out that way. I definitely felt like that was part of God's plan, and He put it on my heart that it's my duty to start teaching other people the things that I learned that helped me be successful that last year. So kind of led me in that direction. And there's some days it's been tough, but I think anytime you get to bring the best out of young men, it's a good day. So I've enjoyed it.
All right, so let's transition just a little bit talk about the summer and the last 6 weeks and just how this Athletes in Action Alaska's experience has been for you as an assistant coach.
It's been amazing. It's crazy because I've been a part of summer ball for a few different organizations, and it's different. It's very pro ball mentality, and up here for Athletes in Action, it's such a close-knit group. These guys' hearts get fulfilled every day with the word and the gospel, and I've learned so much myself, not only from the word, but from these young men and being surrounded by them every day, and seeing them put that into action on the field has really been special. Not to mention, you're up in Alaska, so you get a great view every day, see God's creation, so it's been very cool.
Well, I just want to say thank you to you. I know you've been a huge part of what we've done on the field and off the field. And as a head coach, I can't do what I do if you don't do what you do. So thanks for all your efforts on behalf of this team and the organization. And certainly wish you the best. You're on to bigger and better things, right, when you go back?
Yes, sir. I go on to Dallas Baptist now. And, I can promise you I wouldn't be having that opportunity if it weren't for this and for you bringing me up here. So I greatly appreciate, this opportunity as well.
Jordan, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right, that was Coach Getzelman a few minutes ago, right before we left this morning at the Loretta French Field. Appreciate those guys giving me a few minutes of their time. And the head guy that makes it all go is Chris Beck. And people don't understand just how many things he's juggling when he comes up here, but he does a great job. He is the face of AIA baseball. He's the brainchild. He's just everything that AIA baseball is because of what Chris Beck does and what he's done for the last 20 years. So let's hear what Coach Beck had to say a few minutes ago down in front of the Chinook dugout.
All right, we got Chris Beck here. Chris is the director of baseball for Athletes in Action. He's also the general manager of the Chinooks, and he's also the pitching coach for the Chinooks. Oh, by the way, he's also the father of 3 sons and the husband of one wife. So, all right, I got to ask you, just how does that work in the summers? You got 2 months of just almost chaos.
Organized chaos is what it is. A lot of hats I'm wearing. So Chief Gopher is what I call myself for sure.
Well, the first couple of weeks, it's really a challenge because you're always you're over all 4 teams and they're all going at once, right? Talk about that.
It's more checking in with the guys. The international team's a little more difficult, but he just sends me text message, make sure that I know they're okay. If there's something that happens, I have to be involved with the emergency plans or something like that. The other teams, I just check in with them, make sure they're okay, and see if there's anything I can help with. They're doing the same thing we are, so their schedule's just as busy, and so trying to catch those guys is just as hard as them trying to catch me.
So the other part that you do the other 10 months is recruiting over 100 players. Talk about that process.
Yeah, so normally we'll travel with about 120 players in the 4 teams. In addition to that, we have 100 kids in our youth program. So right there in Xenia, so anything from 16U all the way down to 8U. So we also oversee that. So we'll have probably 225 kids all said and done with tournaments we're running there. So recruiting's a big deal. And we do that mostly by word of mouth and email and on the phone. So it's a busy time.
Well, I'm going to shift gears a little bit here. You've been up here for over 20 years. What's it been like basically raising your family for 2 months in Alaska? Talk about having Danielle and the boys up here for that long and what that's been like.
It's been a good process. Everyone in our family gives up something, that's for sure. The kids do, we do. I've never spent a summer in Ohio, even though I've lived there for a long time, which could be a good thing, honestly, with the heat. But I think the kids have definitely adapted. This is not a normal upbringing for most kids to hang out with college guys and pro guys and big league guys that they know now. They think they get 25 new friends every summer, but it's a unique summer for sure. They stay know they have me for the other 10 months of the year. For sure, so it's busy.
Well, I'll say it. I know you won't, but Crew is blessed to have you in leadership area of baseball. You've done an outstanding job of not only just keeping AIA baseball afloat, but actually having it flourish under your leadership. And I'm honored to be a part of this thing. It's been fun to work with you, and you know, I appreciate the fact that you've invited me up as many times as you have. So thanks for what you're doing for the kingdom of God through these guys. I know that your heart is to have them play even better men and maybe a little bit better at the baseball, maybe a lot better at the but the goal is to have young men of character integrity maybe out of baseball. And I'm living testament to that. I played AMA 35 years ago because of guys like you. And what you're doing now, that's why I'm so proud to be part of it. Chris, thanks for taking a few minutes here. And, thanks for what you're doing for Athens Action.
All right, that was Chris Beck, the pitching coach for the Chinooks, also a man of many talents and many responsibilities. He is over AIA baseball, all 4 clubs, and has recruit all those players, or is the main thrust of the recruiting of over 100 players, plus the what gets lost sometimes is the youth ball that goes on in Xenia. And Chris is a big part of that. He lives in Xenia for 10 months out of the year. And they have a really nice facility where the scouts play. Been there before. Had the honor of going out and speaking at a banquet in Xenia, and I've seen their campus. It's an amazing campus that is really an amazing thing. And so if you're ever around Southern Ohio, north of Cincinnati a little bit, check out the AIA campus. It's quite a facility. It's got soccer fields, football field, softball fields, and a baseball field, fully turfed. Really nice little stadium where the scouts play. So the Xenia Scouts and the Great Lakes Collegiate League. So we're getting ready for baseball here. We will hear from some more Chinooks throughout the ballgame as the pilots are introduced for this ballgame. Let's go through the lineups and get you set up for day 2, Saturday. A little cooler today than it was yesterday here in Anchorage. The Chinooks lost yesterday 2-1, and the pilots, they tied their ballgame. I don't know what the results were last game. They played against the Bucks, and so let's see if they have any information on their games today. The first one of the pilots for the Chinooks. Well, actually, let's go through defensively. The pilots are being introduced, so let's go ahead and do that. Out in left field is Dominique Foscalina. In center is Chase Wells. In right field is Elliot Curtis. Around the infield, Garrett Kosis at third, Alex Tiegler at short, Jordan Arruda at second, Grant Parker at first, Zach Fresno at behind the plate, and on the mound, it's the right-handed sophomore from Mount Hood Community College, Cody Kerfman. And Kevin will give us some info on Cody and how he's doing this year in the ABL.
Yes, sir.
Some numbers on him.
Yep. So Kerfman this season in ABL play has a 1-1 record. He has an ERA of 1.50. He has thrown 10 games. This is actually his first start of the season, even though it won't count. He has thrown 18 innings, struck out 6, walked 6, and that's given up 11 hits.
All right, so Cody Kerfman gets his first start in the ABL play. They did have a first pitch just now. As not sure exactly who that was, but a little different in the showcase to have a first pitch, but they do. And we're getting ready to play baseball. Kerfman, 6'2" and 170, the right-hander. He's a native Alaskan, so getting the honor of starting one of these showcase games here at Mulcahy Stadium. The lineup for the Chinooks looks like this. Leading off in right field is Bailey Collins. Batting second is the starting catcher today, Logan White. Batting third is center fielder Anthony Forte. Batting cleanup is the third baseman Jordan Wharton. Batting fifth, first baseman Nick Kreitzer. Batting sixth, the DH, Jaron Largusa. Batting seventh, shortstop Gregory Ozuna. Luke Vandover will bat eighth and play second base. And in the 9-hole, left fielder Seth Ballinger. And the starting pitcher for the Chinooks today will be left-hander Sam Brace. Brace will get the start for the Chinooks. And the Chinooks will actually use 6 different pitchers today. River Carbone only threw 4 pitches yesterday. So he's going to get another appearance here in showcase game number 2. And it'll be Brace leading it off as the starting pitcher. Then it'll be Larson Kendrick, Brian Pope, Hannes Kendrick, and then Andy Almquist, and then River Carbone. So that's how things will shake out today. We're just about ready for that first pitch. Jordan Getzelman going down to first base today, and Dalton Smith going to get the nod at the third base coach's box. So both of them wearing their pullovers today, short sleeve pullovers. A little cooler today, 56 degrees at game time. Northwesterly wind at 3 miles an hour, 79% humidity. First pitch in there. Strike 1 at 1:05. Just a few minutes late. Glad you're with us. Dr. John Grove here with Kevin Moore. And the next pitch misses. It's 1 ball, 1 strike to Bailey Collins. Left-handed leadoff hitter, playing right field. Next pitch misses, 2-1. Well, it was supposed to have a pretty good chance of rain today, Kevin, and so far it's been pretty good. Line shot, right field, but it's right at the right fielder, Curtis. And there's 1 away. 1 up and 1 down here in the first. And here's catcher Logan White.
Catcher number 12, Logan White.
The umpiring crew, we're going to have to dig out our roster of umpires. I know we got Brad Polk at third, Silas Drayden down at first, but I'm not Gaucher. Eric Gaucher, I think, that's who the home plate umpire is. Get those straight here in a minute. 1-1 count to White. In there for a strike. It's 1-2. Line drive, center field, drops in for a hit. And White is aboard with 1 out here in the first. The looping liner that got over the head of Jordan Arruda at second base. And the Chinooks have a base runner here in the first inning. So with 1 out, 1 aboard, here's Anthony Forte. Chinooks, just to bring you up to speed here, did have 10 players selected to the ABL All-Star game tomorrow. I'll give you those names here in a minute. First pitch is in there, strike 1. Position players include Jordan Wharton, J. Paul Fullerton, Anthony Forte, who's at the plate now, and Bailey Collins. So 4 position players from the Chinooks made the All-Star game tomorrow. 0-1 pitch. Pop up left side. This is in play. And running over and making the catch in fair territory is Dominique Foscolina, just inside the foul line for the second out. So Forte is out. That will bring up the third baseman, Jordan Wharton, who was an all-star.
Now batting third baseman number 20, Jordan Wharton.
The pitchers from the Chinooks that made the all-star game tomorrow, Jared Reclitus, Andy Almquist, Hannes Kendrick, River Carbone, Sam Brace, and Cole Whitman. So 10 Chinooks in the all-star game tomorrow. Congrats to all 10 of those guys. And we got a couple of pitchers that aren't going to throw tomorrow, but they were named to the team. 1-0 pitch fouled off as Wharton gets ahead of a fastball and knocks it past Coach Smith in the third base coach's box. Did he try to make the play?
He did.
You always kind of, I don't know if it was a sausage or not.
A sausage.
So these guys like to rib each other. You heard a little bit about some of the camaraderie from Coach Getzelman. There's a jam job off the handle of Wharton and an easy play for Kosas. He flips it over to Arruda on the 5-4 putout. And that'll end the top of the first here in Anchorage. Chinooks go quietly, a base hit by Logan White, and he's stranded. We'll be back in just a minute to give you the batting lineup for the Glacier Pilots when Chinook baseball continues. And welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium. Dr. John Groth and Kevin Moore on the call for you today. Let's go through the batting lineup for the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. The second baseman, Jordan Arruda. Batting second, right fielder, Elliot Curtis. Batting third, Dominique Foscalina, the left fielder. Batting cleanup for the Pilots, catcher, Zach Presna. Batting fifth, the third baseman, Garrett Kosis. Batting sixth, DH, Jake Cosgrove. Batting seventh, the shortstop, Alex Tiegler. Batting eighth is Grant Parker, the first baseman, and Chase Wells rounds it out in the 9 spot, the center fielder. And on the mound, or let's go through defensively for the Chinooks. Out in left center is Anthony Forte. Bailey Collin at third, Gregory Ozuna at short, Luke Vandover at second, Nick Kreitzer at first. Behind the dish, it's Logan White, and on the mound is the left-hander, Sam Brace. Let's hear a little more about Sam.
Yep, Sam Brace stands 6'5", 255. He is from Metamora, Illinois. Attends Lawrence Technical University in Southfield, Michigan. He has a 1-2 overall record, ERA of 2.58. He has pitched in 11 games, made 3 starts, and he has thrown 31 in the third, struck out 32, walked 13, and has given up 30 hits.
Awesome. Well, Arruda hits a 0-1 pitch, and it's out of here. Home run for Jordan Arruda. And, boy, you got all of that. Ball just carried right out of here. And Arruda gives the Pilots a 1-0 lead here after 1 at bat. He's had a nice summer. And we'll pull up his numbers here, see how don't know off the top of my head just how many home runs he's got. First pitch in there and a strike called. This is left-handed batting right fielder, Elliot Curtis. Next pitch misses a breaker. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. So very quickly, it's 1-0. It caught me off guard there. He'd only seen 1 pitch, and we had just gotten done talking about Sam. Next thing I know, the ball's out of the yard. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Curtis. That was Arruda's first home run of the summer as Curtis strikes out swinging. And Sam has his first strikeout of the ball game. So feast or famine here. Home run and then a punch out. Sam's a big fella, man. He's had a nice summer, and he's had a couple of spot starts, but also has seen a lot of really quality relief appearances for the Chinooks this summer. So first pitch is a ball to Dominique Foscalina, the left fielder for the Pilots. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase one there. Outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. It's 1-0 Pilots. A solo shot by leadoff hitter Jordan Arruda. Playing second base. 2 balls and a strike as the fastball missed inside. Wind up in the pitch. There's a line shot foul down the right field side. Just does get into the bleachers. Kind of a cool Saturday afternoon. It's Bear Paw parade time back at Eagle River. 2-2 pitch. There's a grounder to Luke Vandover at second. And there's 2 away, excuse me. Flips it over to Kreitzer. 4-3 if you're scoring at the house. And here's Zach Presno, the catcher, for the first time today. Yeah, normally the Chinooks, we would be in that parade right now. I kind of sad we had to miss that. But duty. So on other days, you know what, Kevin? I think this might be one of the first years we've ever had a conflict with the Bear Paw and the Showcase. It seemed like in previous years they've been on different weekends. 1-0 pitch is fouled off to the right side. It's 1-1 on Zach Presno. Sam Brace, the left-hander from Lawrence Tech, Metamora, Illinois, on the mound for the Chinooks. Fastball misses away, 2-1. Yesterday we had 60 in the 60s. Line shot right field. That's trouble. Into the gap it goes. Bailey Collins will run it down on the warning track. Fresno into second with a stand-up 2-out double. Nope, good piece of hitting right there. He went down and got the low fastball. Drove it over Luke Vandover's head. Rolled all the way to the fence. So runner at second with 2 outs. And now you got to deal with Garrett Kosas. And boy, what a game he had last couple of games against the Chinooks. Almost hit for the cycle, I think, one day. And crushed a home run at Loretta French. Ground ball to second. Vandover backhands it. Flips it over to Kreitzer, and that's the inning. So the 2-out double is stranded, but the Pilots do get a run on 2 hits. They leave a runner. We'll head to the second inning. Your new score from Mulcahy Stadium here in Anchorage, the Pilots 1 and the Chinooks 0. Back in just a minute. You're watching Chinook baseball. Welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium as another flyover occurs, as they do all day long here in Anchorage. Small planes and big ones. Top of the second inning, and for the Chinooks, it'll be Nick Kreitzer, Jaron Largusa, and Gregory Ozuna. Scheduled to bat here, top of the second inning. 1-0 Pilots. Cody Kerfman back on the bump for the Glacier Pilots. The Anchorage native is a sophomore, Mount Hood Community College. First pitch misses outside, 1-0 to the Chinook first baseman. Next pitch to Nick, in there for a strike. Home plate umpire is Eric Gaucher, Montgomery, Alabama native. Brad Polk, the Nashville, Tennessee native, at third base. Swing and a missed. Kreitzer out in front of that one. Breaking pitch, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. And then it's the Anchorage native Silas Drayden down at first base. 1-2. Had a notion, but held off on the breaking pitch. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kreitzer, the Arkansas Pine Bluff first baseman. Check swing, did he go? And Brad Polk says no, he didn't. And the count will go to 3-2. Nick is 6'4", 250. It's out of Westminster, Colorado. He plays at Arkansas Pine Bluff. Here's the payoff pitch, and it misses outside. And Kreitzer is a leadoff base runner with a walk. They'll bring up the DH, Jaron Largusa, for the first time today. Jaron, a Las Vegas, Nevada native and a member of the Biola University baseball team out of California. So Nick is aboard with nobody out. The pitch. Fastball low, ball 1. Not sure that Nick's going to be looking to steal here. A lot of the guys with a little bit of speed will look to show off their wares. Although I've challenged some of those guys to maybe employ the savvy of maybe the late steal. You know? So we'll see if he decides to do that. Probably not. The 1-1. Got it on his hands. He popped it straight up. And this is Zach Presno making the grab right around home plate for the out. So there's one out after the pop up to the catcher by Jaron Largusa. Here's Gregory Ozuna for the first time today.
Shortstop number 11, Gregory Ozuna.
Kerfman comes set. First pitch, high and tight. Ozuna in yesterday's game was 1 for 3. Foul, and Coach Smith making the play.
Nice play there. Had to make up for the first one.
No sausage on that one. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 aboard. 1-0 Pilots. Top of the second. Pop up, shallow right field. Arruda going back and makes the catch. Didn't know if it was going to be Arruda or Curtis calling him off, but it was in the end Jordan Arruda making that play on the F4, and that'll bring up Luke Vandover with 1 on and 2 outs.
Number 5, Luke Vandover.
Kerfman working kind of quickly here. First pitch is a fastball in there. Strike 1. Little Rock, Arkansas. 0-1 pitch. High and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. On the Chinooks second baseman. Line shot past the third baseman, Kosas, into left field, base hit. Vandover, nicely done there, barreled that one up nicely. So the first hit of the inning in the second hit of the ball game for the Chinooks. Off the bat of Luke Vandover. And here's the 9-hitter, Seth Ballinger, the left fielder. Yesterday's ball game, Ballinger 0 for 2. Vandover 1 for 2 in yesterday's ball game. He doubled in yesterday's showcase ball game, and so he's gotten a base hit in both showcase games. First pitch to Seth Ballinger, little looping fly ball, left center field, easy play for Foscolina, and the inning is over. The Chinooks get 2 base runners, a leadoff walk by Kreitzer and a 2-out single by Vandover, but they are stranded. We'll head to the bottom of the second inning. Your score from Mulcahy Stadium is the Pilots 1 and the Chinooks 0. And welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium as we have another flyover. Got a new pitcher on the mound for the Chinooks. It's the youngster, the youngest guy in the Chinooks roster. It's Larson Kindred.
That's right, yeah. Larson is from Medford, Oregon. He will be attending Biola University along with his brother in the fall. And he stands 6'3", 205 pounds from the left side on the season. He has a 1-2 record with a 4.28 ERA. He has pitched in 6 games and has made 5 starts for the Nooks. And he has thrown 27 1/3, struck out 25, walked 15, and has given up 28 hits on the season.
Well, what an experience for Larson coming out of high school. Kevin, this is I mean, he's facing these guys that sometimes have played 3 years of college ball, so it's just getting him so ready to pitch at Biola. I'm so excited for him. And he has held his own.
Yeah,
you know? Good size young man. Stayed home a little bit. Had the information that he was going to get drafted. Thought about signing professionally, but ended up coming up and having a great summer for the Chinooks here. First pitch is fouled back. This is Jake Cosgrove, 6, 7, and 8 for the Pilots. Cosgrove, Tiegler, and Parker to come to home plate for the Pilots here in the second. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking pitch over the heart of the plate. No balls and 2 strikes. Tiegler also pitched for the Pilots and did a really nice job. He was a late inning guy. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Got him to chase a little high fastball there. Second strikeout for the Chinooks pitching on the day. And Cosgrove, I'm sorry, that was Cosgrove. So this is now Tiegler. So that was Jake Cosgrove, the DH, that just struck out, the freshman from Seattle University. Now here's Tiegler. Alex Tiegler is the shortstop. And he'll step in. So my apologies to him as I identify Cosgrove as Tiegler. First pitch is in there, strike 1. Alex Tiegler is actually from my home state of Texas, Dallas, Texas, a sophomore at Yale. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase a high fastball, and it's quickly 0-2. Boy, Larson's making quick work here.
Not wasting any time here. I don't think he throwing the ball yet.
Yeah, I like the pace.
Yeah.
0-2. Look out! Hit the bull. Hit the bull. That one went sailing over the home plate umpire. Eric Gaucher. Logan White couldn't get his glove on it.
Wanted to show off that velo right there.
There you go. Let it fly. 1-2 with 1 out. Wind up at the pitch. Breaking pitch misses inside. Nice job by Logan White to block that ball. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, nobody aboard. We're in the bottom of the second inning at Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage, Alaska. 2-2 pitch. Fouls it straight back, and Tiegler stays alive. So Tiegler is an Ivy League guy.
Ivy League.
Pretty impressive.
Very impressive.
Starting shortstop and also can throw the ball. Really did he's done a nice job against the Chinooks this year as a closer. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. So 2 consecutive strikeouts for the left-handed incoming freshman, Larson Kendrick. Good things ahead for this young man for sure, Kevin. Coming up and competing with the big boys here right out of high school. There's a handful of guys. The Oilers had a number of guys that came right out of high school this year, but I tell you what, it's a rare thing to have a high school freshman come up here in the ABL and actually compete well, and Larson's done just that. Big swing and a miss. This is Grant Parker, the first baseman. Parker, 6'2", 205, a sophomore out of USC. Fastball in there, and boy, Larson is locked in. Just pumping the strikes. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody aboard. The pitch. Sit down. Swing and a miss.
Oh, boy, Larson.
Got him. Strikes out the side. You want to make an impression on some scouts, come in there and set the side down. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
Doesn't look like a youngster out there right there.
There you go, the KG veteran. See if we can get him to come back next year. 3 up, 3 down for the Pilots here in the bottom of the second inning. We're going to hear from Chinook Anthony Forte. I had a chance to talk to Anthony down on the field just a few minutes ago. Let's hear the interview from the Chinook outfielder right now.
Okay, we got outfielder Anthony Forte here. And Anthony, before we get into the Alaska experience from you, I want to tell the folks a little bit about your baseball background before you came up here.
So, I've been playing since I was really young. I've always had a passion for the game. Going into college, I went to Tulane originally, my freshman year. And I'm from Chicago. So I went down to Louisiana, all the way to New Orleans, to experience. After my freshman year, I ended up transferring to a junior college, but stayed in Louisiana. Went to LSU Unis. And then this past year, after that, I transferred to the University of Richmond in Virginia, so I've been around a little bit. High level baseball, all those programs have storied history, so that's awesome. So let's talk about this summer and how some of the summer has progressed for you as a hitter and just as a player.
So yeah, this summer, I was coming up here looking to work on a couple things, have a good experience too. Got off to a little slow start, but I had a little time off between the season. But since then, I found my stride, and it's been pretty smooth. So
well, we just found out yesterday that you made the All-Star team. Congratulations on that. Well deserved. Talk about I guess, like the level of competition up here, and is it what you expected, or has it exceeded that, or where do you feel about that?
So first, thank you, and then the competition's pretty good up here. There's a lot of good players. A lot of kids from the West Coast.
Right.
I get a chance to play with some kids at games, having a good time.
So who do you root for? Well, just let the folks know. Are you a Cubs guy or a Sox guy?
I'm actually a White Sox fan.
Okay. Well, again, congrats. I want to ask you one more question, just off the baseball side of it. What's your favorite experience off the field since you've been up here? There's so many different things you guys get to do on the off days, and I know. Is there anything that sticks out for you this summer as something that you really enjoy doing?
I don't know if I pick one.
If experience,
I could split two.
Okay.
One of them would be the plane ride that we got to go on.
Nice.
We took a single engine plane and flew around some mountains and some valleys. Got to experience Alaska from up in the air. Right. It was really cool getting to see the whole thing. Right. And then I'd split that with jumping in the frozen lake on the 4th of July.
Nice. Well, the water's definitely cold up here. But anyways, congrats on a great summer. Thanks for taking a few minutes. Hope today goes well for you. Hope you finish strong this summer. And really look for great things from you at Richmond.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome.
All right. Appreciate Anthony Forte giving a few minutes of his time as Bailey Collins is a strikeout victim here in the top of the 3rd inning. 1 out, nobody aboard. Here's Logan White for the 2nd time. Logan singled to center field his first time up. He's 1 for 1 here in this one. First pitch is in there for a strike.
Yeah, we have a new pitcher on the mound for the Pilots, number 21, Zachariah Girard. He's a two-way player on the mound so far during the ABL season. He has a 2-1 record, 2.25 ERA. He has pitched in 5 games. He has made 3 starts, 16 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, 4 walks, and 14 hits.
Pop-up, right side of the infield. Coming in to make the grab is the first baseman, Grant Parker, and there's 2 outs. So Logan White pops up to Parker at first, 2 up, 2 down in the 3rd. And here's Anthony Forte. Just had a chance to hear him talk about his experiences. Boy, what a summer he's had, Kevin. He started out, as he mentioned, slow offensively, but boy, has he picked it up. And, I loved having him down in the bottom part of that lineup earlier on when he was getting his feet on the ground. But he's been so productive. We've had to just gradually move him up into those, the middle of that lineup, and he's done a great job. So excited he made the All-Star team. Next pitch to Forte is fouled off. The 1-0 pitch popped foul. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. On the summer, Anthony comes into the showcase, 258 average, couple of doubles, 2 homers, 18 RBI. He'll be batting in the Home Run Derby tomorrow and also playing in the All-Star game. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The windup and the 1-2 pitch, that's going to be low, and it's 2-2. Zachariah Girard on the hill. Like the first name for sure. Zachariah, that's a biblical. 2-2 pitch. Little chopper that's going to trickle foul. Coach Smith, Ty Beck's going to make the play with cup in hand. Chinooks wearing the red top, gray bottoms here today. And the Pilots, I love the all-whites. I'm an all-white guy. I like the clean look. Little chopper to third. This is Kosis. Fields it, throws it, and just gets Forte by half a step 3 up, 3 down, nothing across for the Knooks in the 3rd inning. We'll head to the bottom half. Your score remains Glacier Pilots 1 and the Chinooks 0. All right, welcome back. Bottom of 3, and we got a new Chinook pitcher. Kevin, let's find out who's on the mound for the Chinooks.
So we have Brian Pope on the mound for the Knooks, number 17. He is from Darrow Ranch, California. He's 6'1", 190 pounds from the right side. He attends California Baptist University. On the season so far, he has a 1-2 record with a ERA of 4.66. He has made 7 appearances in 5 starts. He has thrown 27 innings, struck out 17, walked 5, giving 34 hits on the season so far.
Brian Pope on the mound for the Knooks. He's had a nice summer. Boy, you know, Kevin, I just tell you, I've been doing this for 7 years up here, and as the head coach, we've got probably the best pitching staff, top to bottom, we've ever had. And we really haven't had anyone just blow up on the mound in any one game. You know, obviously we've lost some games, but really been impressed with what these guys have brought to the table on the mound. They've kept us in most ball games, and really the second half, part of what's allowed us to slip in the standings has been we just haven't been able to produce enough runs offensively. So 1-0 pitch is outside. It's 2-0. And it's 9-1-2. Chase Wells, the center fielder, leads it off for the Glacier Pilots. Fastball outside corner, and home plate umpire Eric Gaucher calls it a strike. Pope going to go from the stretch here. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Chase Wells trying to hit this one onto the Little League fields outside of right field here. We're surrounded by fields here at Mulcahy. 2-2 pitch, little looper foul down the left field line this time, out of play. There's a football field just beyond the left field fence. There's a baseball field beyond the center field fence, and there appears to be another baseball field beyond the right field fence, maybe a softball field. It's a whole complex down here, and so the balls that leave the yard are usually landing on another field. And in fact, Kevin, if anyone wants to Google Mulcahy Stadium and airplane crash, we've had a plane crash outside the left field wall years ago. Swing and a miss. And Wells strikes out for the first out here in the bottom of the 3rd. 4 consecutive strikeouts for Chinook pitchers. Larson Kendrick struck out the side, and now it's Brian Pope striking out Wells. 4 in a row. Back to the top we go, and this is the only run of the game right here. Jordan Arruda homered his last time up. Fastball outside corner, strike 1. Pilots with 2 hits and the Chinooks with 2 hits. Goes down and gets this. A little looper into center and falls in front of Forte. So Arruda now 2 for 2. Gets a little bloop single just over the stretched glove of Luke Vandover in front of Anthony Forte. So a 1-out single will bring up Elliot Curtis. Elliott Curtis struck out his first time up. 0 for 1 in this one. There goes the runner. Throw down is high. And it's a stolen base for Arruda. And as we talked about yesterday, Kevin, you're going to see these guys, both Chinooks and the Pilots, if they get on and they got a little speed. Of course, Arruda with the leadoff position is a runner. And he was off of the pitch. No delay there. Pitch was a strike, so it's 0-1 to Curtis. Wouldn't be surprised if he tries to get third if he can. Little looper. Fly ball, shallow left field. And this is Ballinger with the easy catch. And there's 2 away. So Curtis now 0 for 2. Fly ball to Ballinger in left field. Here's Dominique Foscolina. Foscolina, the left fielder, grounded out to Luke Van Base his first time out. 0 for 1. Foscolina, a 3.06 average in ABL play. 2 doubles, a homer, 16 RBI. 0-1. We're at the 3 spot in the Pilot lineup. They lead at 1-0. A solo homer by the leadoff hitter in the first inning has produced the only run of the ball game. That pitch missed low. 2 balls and no strikes to Foscolina. 1-3-0 for the Pilots, and 0-2-0 for the Chinooks. 2-0 pitch. Misses low, 3-0 now. And Zach Presno, the catcher, waits on deck for the Glacier Pilots. And they're all whites, kind of have a interesting uniform. I love it. They're kind of a combination of the Dodgers and the old school Braves logo, as Arruda steals third and on the pitch, and Foscolina draws the walk. So there you go. Arruda's showing it off. He's already hit a home run. He's got an RBI, and now he steals a couple of bags. And, boy, it really impressed me if he stole home. Stole second, stole third, and I don't know if he's going to pull the old Jackie Robinson here and steal home.
That might catch a few scouts' attention there.
I would think so. First pitch misses off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Just want to share with the fans how much I appreciate what you've done all summer.
Thank you.
You know, it's a grind as a broadcaster, and as many games as we play, boy, it's kind of lonely up here. I know Ty every once in a while slips up here, and maybe Jackson, but calling these games night in and night out, we appreciate you getting the pictures and the words down to the Chinook fans in the lower 48. So, fly ball, shallow left field. This is going to be Ballinger couldn't make the catch. Thought he had a beat on it, and it goes off his glove, and now they got a rundown. And Wharton's going to throw it to Logan White, and White will make the tag, but he doesn't have the ball in his glove, so the play continues. Here we go, and there the tag is made finally. Boy, little that's for a highlight reel, a little blooper reel, really. Had a couple of bloopers. Says Presno is going to reach on the, I guess we're going to call it a single because Ballinger had to leave his feet. So it's a 1B7, and then the rundown ensued as Foscolina came all the way around and thought he could score and is caught in a rundown for the final out of the inning. But a run does score. So Arruda has now scored both Pilot runs. And your new score from Mulcahy Stadium as we go to the 4th inning is the Glacier Pilots 2 and the Chinooks 0. Back in just a minute. All right, welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium. Dr. John Groth, Kevin Moore. Kevin, we got a new pilot pitcher. Let's hear about him.
So we have a local here in Alaska, number 25, Johnny Mazzaros. He is a native of Anchorage. He stands 6'3", 215 pounds from the right side. On the season for the Pilots, he has a 0-1 record, ERA of 6.42. He has made 7 appearances. He has 1 save. He has thrown 7 innings, struck out 13, walked 6, and has given up 3 hits.
All right, so pretty good numbers there for the Anchorage native, Johnny Mazzaros. As Coach gets him in, a little hop in his step, jogging down to that first base coach's box, and Coach Smith doing his stretching down in the third base box. Both of them got the short sleeve pullover on. A little cooler today. Game time temperature was 56 degrees. We'll see if it's warmed up at all since then. As stepping in for the Nooks is Jordan Wharton, the third baseman. Wharton grounded out to third his first time up, so he's 0 for 1. Wharton is an all-star, so congrats to Jordan. The Chinooks have 4 positional player all-stars. Forte, Anthony Forte, Jordan Wharton, J. Paul Fullerton. Swing and a miss, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. And there was one more.
Caught baby.
All right, Kelly, I noticed another error.
Bailey Collins, excuse me. Sorry, Bailey. So 2 outfielders, an infielder, and a catcher for the Nooks on the positional side. Of course, 6 pitchers made the all-star roster for the Chinooks. We'll highlight those here in a moment. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jordan Wharton as Mazzaros going from the windup. The 1-2, little ground ball to second. This is Arruda, and it's an easy play for him, and there's 1 out. 4-3 if you're scoring at the house. By the way, if you're scoring at the house, that rundown at the end of the inning, 7-2-5-3. Kind of an interesting play, a little bit blooper play. Ballinger came in, dove for the ball, went off his glove. He had to chase it down, and he threw it to Logan White, and Foscolina was caught in a rundown. And if you're scoring at the house, that went 7-2-5-3 as Kreitzer, who's at the plate now, made the final tag in that rundown. And yes, he did, according to Eric Gaucher, the home plate umpire. Check swing by Kreitzer, and it's no balls, 1 strike. 1 out, nobody aboard. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Next pitch to Nick Kreitzer. In there for a strike, and it's 0-2. So Mazzaros doing a nice job here throwing strikes. Reminiscent of what Larson Kendrick did. Kendrick threw like 2 balls the whole inning. 0-2 pitch, and Kreitzer is down on strikes. Had to protect the plate there. There's a fastball away, and Nick is the 2nd out of the inning. Here's Jaron Lagusa for the 2nd time. They popped up to the catcher, 0 for 1. It looks like, well, we'll refresh this thing. I think it's a little warmer than it was at game time. 59 now here at Mulcahy. So getting a little warmer, inching towards 60 degrees. Actually a lot better than what was forecast. First pitch fastball misses up, or outside rather, and it's 1 ball, no strikes to the Chinook designated hitter. He'll be running out to left field here in a couple of innings. And another strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jaron Lagusa. Lagusa, 200 average on the summer. Breaking pitch misses away. 2 balls and a strike. 7 doubles, 13 RBI for the Chinook designated hitter, Lagusa. Wind up the 2-1 pitch. Look out, another hit the bull pitch. This time by Johnny Mazzaros, and these pitches, Kevin, trying to light that gun up. Yeah. Sometimes they lose it, right? Just that went sailing overhead of Eric Gaucher, and makes me think that some of these umpires may or may not want to be that home plate umpire on showcase day because these pitchers just let it rip. 3 balls and a strike, 2 outs, top of the 4th, the pitch. High and tight, and it's a walk, a 2-out walk to Jaron Lagusa. And that will bring up Gregory Ozuna for the second time. Greg popped up to second his first at bat. On the summer, Ozuna, 233 average, 4 doubles and 10 RBIs for the Chinooks shortstop. At one point this summer was leading the ABL in batting average.
Yes, he was.
Had a nice summer. Young player from Wayland Baptist University in Plainview, Texas. Swing and a miss on the first pitch. It's 0-1. 2 outs, 1 aboard. Largusa will probably look to steal here somewhere. I would think maybe this pitch. There he goes. Popped out of play, and oh boy, Jaron had that bag stolen, and he's probably grinding his teeth a bit, running back to first base. But everyone wants to showcase, right? Greg got a pitch he wanted to handle there, and he took a rip at it. And so Jaron will have to jog back to first. Now with an 0-2 count on Ozuna. Big right-hander Johnny Massaros comes set. The pitch. There goes Jaron. Breaking pitch. Good pitch to run on, and he'll steal the bag. Uh-oh.
Third strike.
Called it a strike. My goodness. Sure looked high from our vantage point, but we're in the bird's nest up here, so Eric Gaucher, the home plate umpire, is the only opinion that matters on this one. And Ozuna is down on strikes. That'll end the inning for the Chinooks. The score remains 2-0 Pilots. We head to the bottom half of inning number 4. Back in just a minute. And welcome back to Anchorage. We're at Mulcahy Stadium. 5, 6, and 7 for the Glacier Pilots. Garrett Kosis will lead it off. Then it'll be Jake Cosgrove and Alex Tiegler. And they will face Brian Pope, who gets his second inning of work here in this showcase game. Change up, and
Nice
way
pitch.
out in front is Garrett Kosis. Pope comes the pitch. That's going to miss low. Looked like he doubled up on him. Another changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, this ballpark is shared by 2 clubs, the Anchorage Bucks and the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. The 1-1. Wait, looked like a cut fastball or slider that caught the inside corner, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out. 2-0, bottom of 4. Brian Pope from the stretch. Pop up left side. Wharton drifts over and just runs out of real estate as the ball hits on top of the Bucks. Well, the Bucks got a locker room on the third base side, and the Pilots have a locker room on the first base side. So it's so nice, Kevin, to be 20 minutes from here to play 2 games or 2 clubs down here, and then 20 minutes right up to Palmer. So we're ideally located geographically for a lot of ball games. We don't have any long road trips other than the 3.5 hours over to Kenai. Really, Chugiak Eagle River is ideal location to play in the ABL. Swing and a miss. He got him to swing through a changeup, and Kosis is the strikeout victim to lead off the 4th inning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts now for Chinook pitching here in this showcase game against the Pilots, and that'll bring up the 6th hitter, DH Jake Cosgrove. First pitch to Cosgrove, called a strike. On the summer, Cosgrove, a 200 average. He has 1 double and 4 RBI on the season. 0-1. Chopper gonna, boy, spin foul. No, that was strange.
And they said it hit it off his foot.
Yeah, man, that ball went a long way to have gone off his foot. That's a pet peeve of mine. I'll just tell you, coach. This is a coach pet peeve. Too many umpires call that thing a foul ball immediately, and I don't know. I just think some of those balls are not foul balls. That had a funny spin, and it went way out to third base. 0-2 pitch. In the dirt. Nice block by Logan White. And it's 1-2. But they also are a lot closer to the action than I am.
Oh, yeah.
So that's just a coach speaking there. 1-2 pitch. Way outside, and White barely gets his glove on it. Uh-oh, just lost the scoreboard. And now it's back on. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Pop up, shallow center field. So 0 for 1 is Tiegler on the summer. As a batter, Tiegler batting 108. Has 5 RBI on the summer. I know he's been an effective late inning pitcher for the Pilots. So 2-way players you alluded to earlier. You actually have a couple of them, right? One of the pitchers.
Yeah, Kostas, he's a 2-way guy.
Okay.
He'll actually be in the home run derby tomorrow for the Pilots.
That dude, he mashed one over at our park.
Yeah, he did.
Golly, it was a wet, windy day, and he just crushed it. 2-0 pitch. That ball missed off the plate. 3-0. Speaking of crushing a ball as a left-hander, I had the privilege of calling the longest home run I've ever seen at the home ballpark. There's a line shot into the gap, and Ballinger will go over and pick it up on 1 hop. So it's a 2-out single for Tiegler to left field, and that'll bring up Grant Parker. Okay, so getting back to my story here, Nick Kreitzer hit the longest home run I've ever seen in Tyler, Texas, Mike Carter Field. I mean, I coached there for 17 and have been broadcasting for another 10. And he hit a ball that's still going. He came down. He was part of I think Arkansas Baptist maybe. He played at Tyler Junior College. And it was a night game, and it went into the lights or into the night, and it never came back. So anyways, it was kind of fun because I think Nick, he went back and listened to my call. And I used the old Dick Enberg line, oh, my. After he hit it, I said, oh, my. That ball is still going. 0-2 pitch. Check swing. Yes, he did. And Parker is a strikeout victim. And that'll end the inning. So a 2-out single by Tiegler. He's stranded. We'll head to the top of the 5th. As we do so, I'm going to play another Chinook interview. As Andy Almquist is also an all-star this year in the showcase weekend. Congrats to Andy. I got a chance to talk to Andy down on the field before today's game. And let's hear what he had to say a few minutes ago.
All right, I'm here with relief pitcher Andy Almquist. And Andy, talk about your baseball background, just so that the folks know where you're from and just a little bit of what your baseball history is before coming to Alaska.
Well, I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio. There's a lot of good baseball there. There's a lot of good youth organizations like Midland, Cincy Flames, just a lot of teams. So there's a lot of good competition. I made it to college, made it to Miami, D1. And from there, I had to really kind of find myself because being in high school, you're always at the top. So then going back down to the bottom of the totem pole, you have to really figure out how to actually play. So I went to my first summer, I was at Hamilton Joe's. And I got to stay close to Miami, so I got to live with the coaches there. And the pitching coach of Hamilton was a AAA player. He was pretty good, and he kind of showed me the ropes a little bit, showed me how it's done. And I had some good people there that have been around and have had success at the college level. And from there, I really just grew, put on a few pounds of muscle. You learn fast about how to make it.
Great. All right, so talk about your basketball. You have been probably as dominant a relief pitcher as I've seen in this league this summer, and I know that maybe you have come in and just shoved the ball into the
zone, got a lot of people out. You made the All-Star team. Congrats on that. Talk about your experiences here in Alaska as a pitcher.
Alaska, it's fun. It's not too hot. You don't get winded as easily. You're not sweating, so you don't have to worry about grip on the ball. And, you just kind of grip it. Hope for the best. All these people are good. You know that going in, so you said, all right, my best against your best.
Your role as a kind of a bridge guy, and you've closed a couple of games for us. Is that something you're comfortable with? Is that something you like?
Yeah, I mean, I got into the closer role a little bit at Miami this past year, and I ran into a little bit of control issues like middle of the year, but it was a tough year. But yeah, it's something I'm used to. It's something I'm comfortable with.
Well, it seems like this summer that hasn't been an issue, and I'd like to think hopefully you take what you've done this summer and you build on it. You go right back and have an awesome year.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I know my brothers played in the MAC, mid-major conference in the Midwest of the U.S., so I wish you nothing but the best. Thanks for taking a few minutes. I think you're going to throw today, and then hopefully you're going to throw again tomorrow in that All-Star game.
I'll throw tomorrow.
But anyways, thanks for taking a minute, and hope the rest of the summer goes great for you.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Andy.
All right, so that's Andy Almquist. Appreciate Andy taking some time. As Seth Ballinger pops one down the left field line, it looks to be in play. It's in foul territory, and it's an out. So Ballinger out on the F07 after Luke Vandover hit the first pitch he saw to the second baseman, Jordan Arruda, for the first out. So quickly now 2 outs here in the top of the 5th, and that will bring up Bailey Collins, another Chinook All-Star. So you got Collins as an 8-ball, Fullerton as an All-Star, and you got Wharton as an All-Star. So those are the 4 position players. Let's highlight quickly the pitchers, and we've already done this once, but we'll go back through it. Is Collins took the first pitch for a ball, and that pitch is going to miss. It's 2-0. The pitchers from the Chinooks that made the All-Star team: Jared Reclitus, Andy Almquist, we just heard from him. Hannes Kendrick, we're going to hear from him in a little while. River Carbone, Sam Brace, and Cole Whitman. And as that pitch gets away, it's now 3-0 on Bailey Collins. So the Chinooks with 10 All-Stars. And that actually is posted to the ABL website. So some of you that are on a computer right now, which you have to be to listen to this, or maybe your phone, you can go to the ABL website. As a fly ball to left field will end the inning. Line drive, actually, off the bat of Bailey Collins. He's done that all summer long. A lot of barrels for Bailey this summer, and that one finds the left fielder's glove, Dominique Foscolina. That ends the top of the 5th. The score remains Glacier Pilots 2. And the Chinooks 0. Will come back with the bottom of the 5th. It'll be 9-1-2 for the Pilots. And welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium as we head to the bottom of the 5th, and the Chinooks have a new pitcher. Kevin, tell us about Hannes.
Hannes Kendrick. Coach Dr. Grove mentioned earlier is an all-star for the Chinooks. He is from Medford, Oregon, the older brother of Larson, who you guys saw earlier. He stands 6'4", 230 pounds from the right side. On the season, He has a 3-0 record for the Chinooks, a 1.96 ERA. And he has made 13 appearances so far, 32 innings pitched, 23 strikeouts, 7 walks, and 22 hits.
So it's Hannes Kendrick, one of 2 Kendrick brothers on the Chinooks, and we're going to hear from them since he's pitching this inning. We're going to play that interview. I interviewed those 2 brothers, and that's an extended interview, so that may take up a good bit. So after this half inning, well, actually after the 5th inning, we'll let the after the pilots are done hitting, I'll play that interview with Hannes and Larson, because I think certainly their family and hopefully the other Chinook fans would be interested to hear from these brothers. First time that I remember, Kevin, a brother tandem being on the team. Well, you know what? I lied. That's not right. I told those guys in the interview that it's not true, though, because we had the Turbin brothers, JJ and Drew Turbin. So I may have to retract that. Those guys are in my truck. I'll have to tell them on the way home today. Yeah, sorry, you're the second brother tandem. No balls and 2 strikes to Chase Wells. That ball just misses. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hannes, the big right-hander from Biola University out of Medford, Oregon. So Anchorage, Alaska, a little bit different than Medford. Fastball high and tight. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got to change behind the plate and change in left field. So you got J. Paul Fullerton now behind the dish. For the Nooks and out left field, it's Jeremy Largusa. 2-2 pitch. Misses inside. It's a full count to 9-hitter Chase Wells, the center fielder. He struck out his first time. On the season, Wells a 163 average. Here's the payoff pitch. Strike 3 called. And strikeout. That ball appeared to be off the plate a little bit. Eric Gaucher having a chat with J-Paul down there. Not going to hang around any longer than he has to in the showcase game. 1 out, nobody aboard. Back to the top we go. And what a day Jordan Arruda's had. 2 for 2. And he has scored both pilot runs. And that ball's Arruda's looking around like, is that ball was well off the plate, called a strike. So you better get up there ready to swing the sticks. 0-1 pitch. Another fastball.
Thought he was about to ring
J.
it
Paul
up.
set up outside and wanted to see how far Eric Gaucher is going to go with his strike zone, and the ball appeared to be almost exactly the same spot, but he called the ball. 1-1 with 1 out, nobody aboard. 2-0 Pilots. Fouled off to the left side, and this is one of the only guys in this game that's kind of happy right now. 2 for 2.
Oh, yeah.
Home run, 2 runs scored, 2 stolen bases. Got to show off his wares in front of the scouts here. Scouts from all the major league teams here this weekend. Swing and a miss. Good breaker. And 2 consecutive strikeouts. Well, so far, the Kendrick brothers, they have faced 5 pilots, and they've struck out 5 pilots. So pretty impressive. Larson struck out the side in the second, and now Hannes has struck out both batters in the 5th. And see if he can make it a complete sweep of 6 strikeouts here. Elliot Curtis steps in. First pitch misses off the plate, 1-0. Curtis 0 for 2, struck out in the first, flew out to left field in the 3rd inning. Curtis 267 average, a double and 5 RBI on the summer. Ground ball to second. The strikeout streak is broken. And it's a 4-3 put out. Luke Vandover, easy play. And that'll end the 5th inning. So let's go ahead and listen, as I had a chance to talk to both Hannes and Larson Kendrick before the ball game here down on the field. It's an extended interview, so we're going to let it run. And let's let you hear from those 2 brothers here as we go to the break. It's 2-0 in the 6th inning.
Hannes and Larson Kendrick here talking before the second showcase game. And I'm going to get the big brother first. So Hannes, talk about your baseball background a little bit before we get into this summer.
Okay, so I started to play baseball from the moment I could walk. My dad played baseball, and so like from when Larson and I were born, our dad was like, Hannes and Larson are going to play baseball. Okay. So we grew up playing with ball in the Friday yard. Her dad on the field. So he played Little League, Little League all high school, played high school baseball. And now I'm at a 4-year Biola University.
Okay, and what year are you?
I just finished my redshirt freshman year.
Okay.
So my 2nd year at Biola.
All right, awesome. So talk a little bit about your experience here in Alaska and just what you've, just baseball-wise, how's that been?
It's been amazing. It's been nice to, I didn't get a lot of innings at Biola, so to get to play and get out there, really get game situations and learn from Chris. Really learn how to pitch has been huge for me. To be able to get out there and learn and face these lineups, but to learn how to command my pitches and get amazing when I go back to school.
All right, so what's it like playing with your brother?
I gotta keep an eye on him. I gotta make sure that I stay a couple steps ahead of him because it's like he's competitive or something. He wants to keep up, so I gotta make sure I stay a couple steps ahead. But I love it. It's been cool. It's been amazing. We got to play a little bit in high school together, and that was a lot of fun. We always hoped that someday we get to play on another team together.
It's pretty amazing, and I don't think we've ever had a Chinook brother tandem on the club. Really? Yeah, that's pretty cool. First time ever. So, all right, I'm going to shift gears here and talk to Larson. Larson, you came up a little late. Talk about your baseball this last year, and right before you came up, what you were dealing with.
Yeah, so I just fresh off the state championship. Awesome. So it's an amazing feeling. We had a great group of guys. And, we'd gone to the state championship the year before and lost. So there's definitely some motivation to get back and to win it this year. And so that was really exciting.
All right. Well, beyond that, now there was a personal thing that kept you from coming up here. Talk about when you were late coming up with the Chinooks.
Yeah. So after the state championship and everything, there was of course the draft, and there was a chance I was going to go in that, but that wasn't God's plan. But looking back at it, I'm very happy I was able to come up here and learn. I've learned so much from my teammates up here and from Chris and all the coaches. It's been a fantastic experience.
Well, you're one of the few guys in the ABL. There's a handful of them, but not many, that have come straight out of high school. Compete with some of these guys that have played 1, 2, sometimes 3 years in college. How's that been?
It's been a challenge. There's a lot of stuff you got to learn. High school it's a huge change from high school to college. It's amazing what a difference a couple of years does. But I enjoy the challenge. Playing up has been something that I kind of look forward to, and challenging myself against better competition is always a fun thing to do, and it's been entertaining.
Well, a lot of your peers at Biola, and that's where you're headed, right? Talk about where you're headed this fall.
Yeah, so I'll be headed to Biola this fall to play with my brother, and that's going to be really exciting. I love the school, and I just can't wait to get started down there.
Well, you had some decisions to make, and I can relate to you. We talked a little bit earlier in the summer. You came up here, you hadn't made that decision, and so talk about that process.
Right. So I signed with Biola in the fall, November, right? And was happy with my commitment, and didn't think about it again until toward the end of the spring when there was a little bit of a shakeup down there, and my coach thought I should my high school coach thought I should maybe consider a JUCO,
right?
A good JUCO in Arizona, right? So I considered that for a while, prayed about it, and really considered it really hard. But after talking to the Biola coaches again, and praying about it a lot, really just cemented my decision, and I'm still going to Biola.
So you guys are going to be together for, Lord willing, a couple more years. That's a cool thing.
Definitely.
All right, I want to shift gears a little bit. What's your favorite, and I'm going back to Hannes now on this, your favorite off-the-field experience this summer in Alaska?
Okay, so my favorite off-the-field experience was the 4th of July. I went to this place out past Palmer. It's this ravine out in the mountains where the car's off the cliff. And 8 of these cars off this cliff down into this ravine. Everybody sent people there. Wow. And we all sat on the side of the ravine. And we have a 98 Buick. We're about to launch. This car was hit by a moose, and it still runs, but we're going to launch it off. All of a sudden, the guy would count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then the car would shoot off. It would go off the ledge.
So you don't do that back in Medford?
No, we don't do that. Only in Alaska thing.
All right, very good OIA moment. So, what about you, Larson? Anything that sticks
I definitely have to say the car had to go to that too. That was very unique and special. But I've only seen one moose since I.
Well, guys, what a treat it is to have your brother by your side and an experience like this. And I'm just really thrilled. I'm honored to be your coach. I really appreciate the way you guys have gone about your business on the field and off the field. So thanks for taking a few minutes today.
Thank you, John. All right, thank you.
All right, so appreciate the Kinnick brothers giving me a few minutes of their time, and we've had plenty of action here in this inning. J. Paul Fullerton barreled up a ball, hit it right at the second baseman. Arruda dove, made a great play, got him out for the first out of the inning, and it was Forte, Anthony Forte, with a really good at-bat, finally getting a base hit to left field. There he goes on the steal. High fly ball left field. Is it fair? Is it deep enough? It is just foul, and it fell inside the ballpark, so looked like it had a chance to get out of here off the bat, and it falls about 3 feet or maybe 2 feet foul and just inside the 325 lot sign right down the left field corner. So it's 1-2 on Jordan Wharton as Anthony Forte over at first base was off with that pitch trying to steal second. See if he does it again. And now stepping off is the new pitcher. That would be Ryan Knowles.
Yeah, John,
also a
interesting.
two-way guy.
This is his first appearance on the mound.
Oh, goodness. So what do you think about that in the showcase? They're going to give an infielder a chance to pitch. Corona, California, 6 foot 180, right-handed sophomore from Mount San Antonio Community College. So, I don't know. Knowles, what he may be doing is saving some of his pitches for the All-Star game. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball in the 6 hole. And you got to go to first, and just does get him. Boy, it looks like Brad and Silas switched places. That's Brad Polk now over at first base. So good play at shortstop by Tiegler as he thought about going to second, but ended up throwing it across the diamond. So Forte at second, 2 outs. Nick Kreitzer for the third time. Kreitzer 0 for 1. He walked and struck out. Kreitzer on the summer, 212 average, 5 doubles. Throw back behind Forte and showing off the gun is Zach Presno. Why not, right? Well, you have to think about different ways you can showcase your talents there. You might as well let it fly, right? Kreitzer 5 doubles, a triple, a homer, and 11 RBI on the summer. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Knowles, the new pitcher, is actually doing pretty good. Kreitzer fouls this one off to the left side, out of play. Count will remain 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Forte at second. It's still 2-0 Pilots. Appreciate all the coaches and players giving me some of their time. We've heard from Dalton Smith, assistant coach, Jordan Getzelman, assistant coach. We've also heard from Chris Beck, the director of baseball and our pitching coach here for the Chinooks. Off the plate, 2-2 now to Kreitzer. We heard from Anthony Forte, Andy Almquist, and also Hannes and Larson Kendrick. So a big tip of the cap to all those Chinook guys, staff and players for giving me a few minutes of their day today before some of those interviews I did before we left Chugiak, and did a couple of them after we got to the ballpark here. So thanks for them taking a few minutes. Sometimes for some of those guys, first time they've ever been interviewed, a little nervous, but they all did a great job, and hopefully gave some of these Chinook fans just a little insight as to some of these guys. And they're from all over the place, and they really are great kids. 2-2 pitch. That ball's well hit. High, deep right field, and off the wall. Kreitzer's going to chug into second. Here's the throw, the slide, and he's going to be out. But the run should count. And it's 2-1 now. Chinooks. Nick Kreitzer drove that ball over Elliot Curtis's head and Curtis got it in quick enough. Kreitzer, with that good speed, not so, is thrown out at second base. So a long single for Kreitzer, an RBI. He's thrown out 9-6 at second base. Forte will score the first Chinook run of the day. And your new scores, we head to the bottom of the sixth. It's Pilots 2 and the Chinooks 1. Back in just a minute. Welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium, and River Carbone's going to get a second appearance. He only threw 4 pitches yesterday in the 7th inning, as a lot of these hitters in this showcase game are very aggressive. They want to showcase their hitting skills. They don't want to walk. And so River only got 4 pitches, so he's on for the second consecutive day. And, boy, good news yesterday. He was 91-93 yesterday. So, Kevin, you got some information on River for us?
Yes, I do. Carbone from Downingtown, Pennsylvania. He attends Arizona Christian University. He'll be going into his senior year there. He stands 6'7", 235 pounds from the right side. Carbone is also an all-star for the Chinooks. On the season, he has an 0-1 record, 5.17 ERA. He has made 13 appearances, has 5 saves. Has thrown 15 in 2 innings, struck out 9, walked 3, and has given up 20 hits.
Well, Rivers done a really good job in the primarily closer role for the Chinooks. And, boy, I think he had 1 outing where those numbers got inflated, and that really has pushed his ERA up. But for the most part, he has been just dead on really good closer for the Chinooks this summer. So he'll take the mound here in the 6th inning. Ground ball in the first pitch. This is Ozuna at short. Gobbles it up, throws it across, 1 out. And Dimitri Foscolina is the first out in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-1 Pilots in a 7-inning showcase game here at Mulcahy Stadium. And stepping in for the Pilots is the catcher, Zach Presno, for the 3rd time. Presno also having a nice day for himself, 2 for 2. Doubled to right his first time up, singled to left back in the 3rd inning. A nice day for the Pilot catcher. First pitch from River Carbone misses, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Fresno 213 on the summer, couple of home runs and 7 RBI. 1-0 pitch just misses off the plate, 2-0. 2-5-0 for the Pilots, 1-4-0 for the Chinooks. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Carbone comes set, the 2-0. Boy, that just missed low, and it's 3-0. We'll surprise Presno. He might start whacking away here. He's got probably not a good chance of stealing any bases. The best chance he has of showing something here is taking a rip. And he does, and it's fouled off. So it's interesting to watch the showcase because there's some things that go on that don't go on normally in a baseball game. Normally, you're going to probably take a 3-0 pitch unless it's absolutely right down the middle. In a showcase where you got Major League scouts from all the clubs watching you, you might as well go ahead and take a rip. Here's the 3-1 pitch now from Carbone. Ground ball to short. Backhanded by Ozuna. Long throw. Got him. Nicely done by Greg Ozuna. And Kreitzer promptly rifles it over Ozuna's head into left field on the throwing it around the horn.
Ozuna displaying that good arm strength, that shortstop.
Greg has got an absolute cannon over there. And when he has to, boy, he can get it over there in a hurry. So 2 ground balls to short, 2 outs here in the 6th, and here's Garrett Kosis. And this is an interesting at bat. You got 6'7" River Carbone facing Garrett Kosis, and Kosis is 6'4", 230. He's every bit of 6'4". He's making home plate umpire small. The 0-1 off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. I'll be curious to see how he does in the home run derby tomorrow, because right field's not too generous here. Left field much more generous for home run derby. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Today's game, Kosis grounded out to short, struck out swinging back in the 4th, so he's 0 for 2. On the summer, 220 average, 9 doubles, a triple, a homer, and 6 RBI. Ground ball foul, first base side. Do it again at 1-2. Well, this is game 1 of day 2 of the showcase. The next game features the Oilers and the Pilots, and then the final game of the day will be Bucks and Miners. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. Garrett Kosis strikes out for the 2nd time. And River Carbone with a perfect 6th inning. 3 up, 3 down, nothing across. We go to the 7th. Final inning of the 2nd showcase game. It's 2-1 Pilots. And welcome back. Top of 7. This is a 7-inning ball game. All these showcase games are 7s. And the Pilots are saving their arms, so we got another position player, another infielder on the mound. Let's hear from Kevin as to who this guy is.
Yeah, so we have number 38, Emilio Nogales, stepping in on the mound for the Pilots, making his first appearance.
Okay.
He is 6'1", 220 from Fresno State.
And he's going to face Jaron Largusa. Fastball misses away. 1 ball, 1 strike. So the Pilots evidently saving their arms for the All-Star game tomorrow. Have had a couple of position players on the mound today. Little looper into center. Tough play coming in as Wells, and he can't get there. So it's a leadoff single here by Jaron Largusa. And that'll bring up Gregory Ozuna for the 3rd time. So for Largusa, that's his first hit of the day. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. Greg Ozuna 0 for 2. Pop up to 2nd and a strikeout. I did get an infield single yesterday, so it's 1 for showcase. Swing, or must have missed it because Press over there, just in case Largusa decides to steal. He'll probably try to steal here. There he goes. Swing and a miss, throw to second, and he's going to make, oh my, out. Pretty close play at second.
That call there.
Thought he might have got there, but that's Silas Drayden keeping the King going here. 2-6 on the caught stealing, and Largusa is gunned down by Zach Presno. And so 1 out, nobody aboard. Here's Ozuna. Swing and a miss. Tags him out. Strike 3. So Ozuna strikes out for out number 2. And here's Luke Vandover with 2 outs in the 7th. We will play through the bottom half, despite the score being Pilots 2-1 here. So if Luke can't hit a home run or score, there's a ball that gets away outside ball 1. We will go ahead and play the bottom of the 7th, and it will be, well, as far as I know, Andy Almquist was scheduled to pitch, but he's also made the All-Star team, so we may have deferred here, just play 6.5. We'll see.
Yeah, somebody warming up in the bullpen. So.
Yeah, it kind of looked like,
yeah,
okay,
that's
yeah, Andy's down there getting loose, so we're going to see Andy Almquist for the bottom of the 7th. 1-1 is the count, the pitch. Pop up right side out of play. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Emilio Nogales trying to work through a scoreless 7th inning here. Vandover, the pitch. Swinging, it just does get a piece of that one. Stays alive. Two to 1 Pilots. We're in the top of the 7th. All teams with 5 hits. Breaking pitch missed low. Pretty good job by Presno to keep it right in front of him. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, nobody aboard. Nogales comes set the pitch. Ground ball left side, and that's going to go off the glove of Kosas into left field. A single for Luke Vandover, his 2nd hit of the day. So Vandover now 2 for 3 on the day. That'll bring up Seth Ballinger for the 3rd time. Well, kind of good. Seth in yesterday's show bats. He was the only Chinook to only get 2 at-bats, so kind of glad that Luke got that knock, and he actually represents the tying run here. So we'll see if Luke tries to steal second. I think he's probably going to try. We've had a couple of guys thrown out at second base. The 1-0 pitch off the plate. 2-0. I haven't noticed, but Nogales going from the stretch as a position player. He's going with he's going with a really quick slide step. So Luke Vandover kind of frustrated over there. You can tell he's trying to get a jump. And you almost got to time it up and take off. And Luke does that all the time anyway, so he'll probably do it right here. There he goes.
There it is.
They're going, and Ballinger pops it up to the left side in play. This is Kostas in foul territory. He'll squeeze it for the final out of the 7th inning. F05 if you're scoring at the house. And leave 1 guy on. And they end up leaving 5 on for the ball game. And just got scored a run, but also just left 1 in scoring position. So that'll end the 7th inning. The Chinooks win a 2nd showcase, but we'll see Andy Almquist when we return for the bottom of the 7th. but really this is more of a scrimmage showcase for these guys. All 30 teams represented in stands with the scouts. Andy, we heard a little bit ago on the interview. Kevin, give us some information on how Andy's done so far this summer in the ABL.
So Almquist so far during the season had a 2-2 record, a 1.90 ERA. He has made 13 appearances out of the bullpen for the Chinooks. He has thrown 23 2/3, struck out 31, walked 4, and has given up 12 hits.
Those are impressive numbers. 23 2/3, 31 punch-outs.
Only 4 walks.
And only 4 walks. Andy has been a strike thrower. You heard on the interview that he's been working on his command. And his favorite part of the summer, I asked him, was the polar plunge on where did they go? Hatcher's Pass, I think. Up on the 4th of July, a bunch of the Chinooks went up and did a polar plunge off the Glacier. First pitch was a strike. It was a ball. The second pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Jake Cosgrove, 0 for 2 with a 1-1 count.
Nice pitch.
It's that slider, that nasty slider that Andy throws. And it's 1-2. He likes to work quick. Little ground ball to second. Vandover, easy play. Scoops it, throws it, 1 out. Andy has done a nice job on the mound for the Chinooks all summer long. A lot of strikes, a lot of strikeouts. And I would say among relief pitchers, I don't think there's anyone statistically has dominated the league as much as Andy has. And for someone who talked about struggling with his command a bit at Miami, that has not been the issue this summer. There hasn't been any issue for Andy. He's come in and done a great job. 0-1 pitch. Fastball, strike 2. He's had good command in just about every. And it's hardly, how many hits? Swing and a miss, struck him out. Pull up his numbers here real quick as I count up the strikeouts as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 strikeouts for the Chinook pitchers in this ball game. And it's a 7-inning game. We're not through 7 yet.
12 hits.
12 hits and 23 2/3. Really impressive numbers. Little tapper. Tough play for Wharton at third. He'll barehand it and throw. And he had time but couldn't quite get the throw. So I'm going to score it as an infield single.
Well, Score's disagreeing with you there.
Well, the truth of the matter is that Garrett Parker couldn't run out of sight in a day, man. He's not a runner. And so a good throw would have had him. That's usually the scorekeeper's kind of a guideline there. If it was a good throw, would he have been out? And a good throw would have got him. I'm going to defer to myself and give him a hit on that and save Wharton an error. Fastball outside corner, strike 1. This is Chase Wells now for the 3rd time, so this is a good thing. Wells will get his 3rd at bat in the showcase. So all 9 hitters in both lineups will get 3 at bats in this showcase in front of the scouts. So we're 1 out away from the ball game being over. 7-inning showcase exhibition game here at Mulcahy. Andy Almquist with a 1-1 count. The pitch. Ground ball right back to Andy. Spears it, throws over, and Nick Reitzer has to pick it. And Andy walks off the mound with a smile. And the ball game is now over. Your final line score for the Chinooks, 1 run on 6 hits, no errors. And for the Glacier Pilots, 2 runs on 5 hits. Well, actually 6 hits. I'm going to give them a hit on that last one. And no errors for the Glacier Pilots. So that'll wrap up the showcase weekend for the Chinooks. A 2-0 loss yesterday to the Bucks and a 2-1 loss to the Pilots. But really, the scoreboard doesn't matter. We got a lot of good at bats, some good innings from the pitchers. And again, let's review the Chinook All-Stars. Tomorrow's All-Star game. Tomorrow, and actually, the Chinooks will be on 2 separate teams. because the way with only 5 teams in the showcase, 2 teams on one team, 2 teams on another, and one team has to get split in half to even up the roster. So the 10 Chinook All-Stars will include these guys: infielders Jordan Wharton, catcher J. Paul Fullerton, outfielders Anthony Forte and Bailey Collins. And Forte and Collins will also be in the 1 o'clock home run derby. The pitchers from the Chinooks on the All-Star roster include Jared Reclitus, Andy Almquist, Hannes Kendrick, River Carbone, Sam Brace, and Cole Whitman. So congrats to all those All-Stars. They'll be competing tomorrow here in front of all those scouts in the All-Star game that will start at 4 p.m. And I think, Kevin, I think that game's going to be online. If the fans want to watch that, I think, I don't know if it's the Bucks or the Pilots that are going to broadcast that, but you might have to do a little searching online to either the Pilots or Bucks website. But I'm thinking that thing's going to be broadcast. So you may want to check that out. Some of you parents that are going to maybe want to watch your kids compete in that All-Star ball game tomorrow. That'll start at 4 o'clock Alaska time. But, man, I appreciate you sharing your space with me.
No
it's been
problem.
fun.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I know that you're the pro here, so I just do this for a hobby. I'm a full-time professor back at Tyler College and also UT Tyler adjunct professor. And I was the head coach at Tyler Junior College. My baseball background, just to kind of bring some of the folks up to speed, I played JUCO ball back in Northeast Ohio, Cuyahoga Community College. 4-year baseball at the University of New Orleans, and then got to play 2 years of pro ball with the Cincinnati Reds. Got into coaching with the University of New Orleans, 2 years at Georgia Southern, 2 years at Texas A&M, or 3 years rather at A&M while I worked on my PhD there. Got the head coaching job at Tyler Junior College, was their head coach, started the program from scratch in 1992, and then for 17 years was the head coach there at TJC. We won our first national championship in 2007, and one of my assistant coaches and former players, Doug Wren, has won 4 more since I left. And so he's done a great job of keeping the Apache tradition there in Tyler, Texas. And I broadcast their games. I also broadcast UT Tyler baseball and softball as well. So it's fun to get back up on the booth and call a couple of games. I'll put the uniform back on Monday, and we'll take the minors on that one. But it's fun to get up here just for a couple of ball games. So thanks for sharing the mic with me.
Oh, anytime.
And you're doing a great job. Again, I'll just say a big hats off and a tip of the cap to you as we got, I don't know, about 10 ball games left. So you've grinded it out all summer for us up here. And I know the parents appreciate your efforts as they get to listen and watch their Chinooks play in a faraway land, right? Hopefully it's been a good experience for you. I've also appreciated your input in just your influence on these guys. Your walk with the Lord is important for us to have, and it's awesome to have a broadcaster who loves Jesus Christ and isn't ashamed to talk about it and walk with the Lord. And I know that you're going to do great things back there in Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, yes. Thank you
head
so
back
much.
home. So
yes.
Thanks for sharing the mic. I'll let you finish this thing off.
All right, guys. So Chinook fans, just want to thank you all for tuning in to this showcase game. We'll be back on Monday at 7 p.m. at Lee Jordan Field, as the Chinooks will host the Matsu Miners. That'll be a 7 o'clock start time. And if we can find a link to the All-Star game tomorrow, we will try to post that on social media, on our Twitter and Facebook accounts, so you guys can tune in. So be on the lookout for that. So once again, just want to thank you all for listening to Dr. John Grove, the head baseball coach for the Chinooks, and myself. And from Mulcahy Stadium, we are signing out. We'll see you guys on Monday.